why are you threatening the Congress party right now with all this talk of the accountability commission? You know, Mr. Modi says 20 days from now, let me come to power. You know, we are going to fix everything. The BJP leaders talking
about... The accountability commission is not going to be for the Congress party. It's going to be for everybody in the...
Entirely going to be aimed at the Congress party?
No, it's going to be for everybody in government. Tomorrow, if we come into government, it's going to be against us also. After all, accountability commission is not party specific. It is issue specific.
Vajpayee didn't have an accountability commission.
Well, if India...
You were a cabinet minister in his government.
Well, you may need an accountability commission or a Lokpal, whichever way you call it. These are institutions which have been debated in India for a long time. There are states which have an accountability commission in India. And therefore, let us not believe that it's only a Congress party centric thing that we are trying to think of.
Has too much bitterness seeped into this campaign, Mr. Jaitley? We've seen Lok Sabha elections almost as if this time we come to power, we'll fix the other side, you come to power.
In fact, our campaign has had no bitterness because we've tried to confine our campaign to governance issues.
I think you've had a very bitter campaign with Amrinder Singh. The most bitter campaign possible. Each of you, especially you through your blogs and he through his comments, trading barbs and allegations, which if I may say so, Mr. Jaitley, has nothing to do
with issues of your
constituency or the national agenda.
Well, let me tell you, he every day issues a press statement and makes a statement which is rude, which is discourteous, which is impolite. He uses that kind of language. In the initial stages, I ignored it. And finally, I started answering it with some element of sarcasm and humor. I have gone only as far. I have not tried not to be discourteous. I have certainly tried to inject some sarcasm and humor into it, which I think is a legitimate thing in politics.
Having been caught lying with a straight face on the property tax and the Jagdish Taitled issue, any other candidate would have been put to shame before the people, writes Arun Jaitley in his famous blog. But this emperor, even when caught without clothes, has the ability to look at you in the eye. The blog is titled "The Emperor's New Clothes." That's sarcastic. It's well enough. But
well, I thought you will compliment me for that humor because calling Amrinder an emperor, and when he's caught lying, an emperor without clothes.
How is the issue of Amrinder's property tax relevant to this?
No, it's not Amrinder's property tax. The question was who levied property tax on the people of Amritsar. There was a writing by Amrinder before he relinquished charge as Chief Minister. He was blaming Mr. Badal for it. I produced the writing, the signatures of Amrinder Singh. So I said, you did it. And when he started denying his signature, I had to produce it in the public domain.
Why is Amrinder fighting this election against you? Why has the Congress party fielded Amrinder Singh against you? When you picked up the Amritsar challenge, Mr. Jaitley, you were not prepared to have Amrinder Singh as your...
Well, I obviously knew there would be a Congress candidate. The Congress doesn't exactly love me. So they are going to put up somebody formidable against me. And I am prepared for that kind of a challenge.
But you were not prepared for Amrinder Singh when you came?
Well, I am not interested who they would have put up. They would have put up somebody strong. They put up Amrinder Singh. I'll face the challenge.
Mr. Jaitley, in the BJP's campaign, and I want to come to the issue of Mr. Modi, the BJP...
And let me tell you, as far as the Amrinder and my this thing is concerned...
Who you call Maharaja Sahab, Dabang?
No, he calls himself Dabang in a public meeting. So the fact is that if you read each one of my blogs in it, you probably will have a laugh. That's what people have been doing. So I think that's legitimate humor. Otherwise, if I didn't do it, the election will be an extremely boring thing.
Everyone except Amrinder Singh will have a laugh at it. Mr. Jaitley.
I wish he could laugh. The ability to laugh at yourself must be there in politicians.
When was the last time you met him?
Well, I met him when he was compelled to go for a morning walk. I'm a regular walker. And he came for a morning walk to the company garden in Amritsar and we met each other. That's the only time we met in the course of campaign.
What did you say to each other?
Of course, we exchanged pleasantries. It was very courteous and so on. I wished him good health and I told him that I am a regular walker. He said, I am not. So I said, look after your health. He said, yeah, we'll all get over with it. It was a very pleasant conversation.
Mr. Jaitley, in the BJP's campaign, it is evident to me that the image, and everyone, that the image of Mr. Narendra Modi has totally and completely, almost effortlessly as this stage, subsumed that of the party.
There is no...
And this election therefore seemed to be more about Mr. Modi than the BJP. You may deny it, but it's evident all over. Did you play the gamble too hard? I mean, has the party therefore become Modi and Modi become the party in a sense?
The campaign is of a Modi-led BJP. The 1998 and 99 campaign was of a Vajpayee-led BJP. So every time you have a leader with that kind of popularity, you take advantage of his popularity.
Yeah, but in the radio spots, Mr. Modi says, "Meri appeal hai ki har gali se aapka vote seedhe seedhe mujhe milega." The vote will reach me, not reach the BJP.
Well, in the Vajpayee election campaign, forget radio spots. We had Mr. Vajpayee in his telephonic conversation with people, speaking to them and asking for a vote for himself.
Did Mr. Vajpayee say that God has chosen me, or did Vajpayee say vote for the BJP?
No, God is, you see, these are statements of humility that God has asked me.
It's a statement of humility in your view? I believe God has chosen me for this work. Now I only
you see, there are people who believe in destiny, there are people who believe in religiosity, there are people
What
who
about
don't
the
believe.
destiny of the BJP?
Well, the BJP will be very strong. If the BJP comes very close to power and with its allies gets an absolute majority, the destiny of the BJP is going to be great.
But isn't it strange that your party always talked and spoke against too much of a personality-driven leadership?
You see, having a powerful leader and a personality cult are entirely different.
No, it's
the
not.
systems in the BJP will still remain the same.
No, it's not, Mr. Jaitley. Fact remains, Congress has been a more collective campaign in line with what you mocked the "Main Nahi Hum" slogan. And now Sonia joins the fray, Priyanka joins the fray, Rahul is there. Your entire personality-driven campaign focused on one individual. Now, Mr. Jaitley, please tell me, when you were deciding to make Narendra Modi campaign committee chief, did you bargain for this? Or did you bargain for Narendra Modi leading the BJP campaign, or did you bargain for Modi leading the Modi campaign?
Can I suggest this?
Yes.
The basic work for this campaign has not been done by Mr. Modi. There is a campaign management committee for publicity which decided all this, which comprises of 4 or 5 people, predominant amongst them being Sushma Swaraj and myself, Amit Shah.
We haven't seen Sushma Swaraj.
But she's busy in her constituency, I'm busy in my constituency.
She's so busy that she's not even visible.
No, after her campaign is over yesterday, her voting is over yesterday in Vidisha, now she'll be travelling across the country, why not?
Where's the visibility of Sushma Swaraj?
The visibility will come because she's been in Vidisha. I am in Amritsar. Advaniji is in Gandhi-Vadra.
That's not the only reason, because even when, let me take the example of Rajnath Singh. When one Twitter ad was put out saying Ab ki baar BJP Sarkar, it was immediately changed back to Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar, almost as if
Can I tell you, this is not motivated by any personality cult considerations. Anybody involved with marketing or political marketing will tell you, you look at the market ratings. I did look at the market ratings.
What are market ratings?
You see, the acceptability in a poll. What is BJP's poll percentage? What is Modi's acceptability? What is BJP's poll percentage? What is Vajpayee's acceptability? What is BJP's? Well, not only with Modi or Mr. Vajpayee, we've tried this with Vasundhara Raje, we've tried this with Shivraj Singh Chauhan. I personally tried this and experimented this in the 2 campaigns for Bihar in relation to Nitish Kumar that we ran. When the leader's popularity is higher than the campaign popularity, you take advantage of the leader's popularity.
The gap may keep growing. In the idea of a political party should be to reduce that
This is not the first time this has happened. This is not the last time it is happening. In states where chief ministers' popularities are much higher than the parties, you project the personality of the chief minister to make sure that the party gets an advantage.
So Lalji Tandon says, I will only vacate the seat for Modi. Is that a good thing?
No, he did a very good thing by vacating it for Rajnath Singh.
Yeah, but when he says...
I'll tell you, you see, these are a drop in the ocean statements. These are not statements which are intended to influence the whole campaign. Lalji Tandon is an extremely disciplined man, and once he was told the party president has to contest Lucknow, he vacated his seat. He's proposed his name.
Are you justifying this too hard? Do you actually believe in it? Mr. Jaitley, ask yourself today, as a BJP leader...
As a campaign strategy, I am a privy to this. I am responsible for the creation of this slogan and the campaign, along with some of my colleagues, and I take full responsibility for it.
Sushma Swaraj doesn't agree with you?
She hasn't said so. She's a part of the campaign
That's
committee.
the general belief, knowledge.
Well, these are rumors which you'd like to spread. The campaign lines have been decided by both of us collectively.
How many times have you heard her say, Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar?
Dekhiye, she is busy in her constituency.
Do you know the difference it would make if she were to say it once? If she were to say it once or twice?
Hasn't she endorsed Narendra Modi publicly as the BJP's prime ministerial candidate on more than one occasion?
She wasn't there on the stage in the evening after he was announced. You were there. She wasn't. She took the
No,
flight.
but you see, she was going for a flight. She left the meeting early. Hasn't she made innumerable public speeches where she said, we contest this election under the leadership of Mr. Modi. Dr. Joshi has said so. Advaniji has said so repeatedly. Sushma Swaraj has said so. Now, within the party, before the nomination is decided, everybody is entitled to his views. I think she did an excellent thing. She expressed her view, the party took a decision, she immediately accepted it.
Mr. Jaitley, is there a problem between you and Sushma Swaraj?
Well, that's a 5-year-old news. Now, last 5 years, or a large part of the last 5 years, both of us have functioned together as leaders in the respective houses. And I can tell you, contrary to public perception, on most issues, I would say on 9 out of 10 issues, her views and my views used to overlap.
And then when
Parliament was in session, when we had to coordinate, she and I would be together on a one-to-one basis at least 5 times a day. Minute to minute, what went on in each house, we used to coordinate with each other. Now, we are two different people, we may have a different style, but as I've said, on most issues, and this is a fact that she is always at pains to repeat, that Arun's views and my views are always the same, and yet there is a perception that we disagree on this or disagree on that.
On critical issues you have, and I asked this question to Rajnath Singh about 3 weeks back, Mr. Jaitley, and asked him, why is there a situation where Sushma Swaraj has to express the fact she does not agree with critical decisions of the party? Like Sri Ramalu on Twitter, on a public forum outside, he said,
I'll tell you the reason. And
that's unfortunate.
Can I say this in defense of her? She got unnecessarily and unfairly dragged into this Bellary controversy. Because she contested once from Bellary, people thought they can identify her with anything, any wrongdoing somebody was doing. Therefore, she's extra cautious about it. If I had such a baseless charges being made against me, maybe I would have also got cautious. Therefore, she said, I don't want the blame for these kind of things to come back on me again. I haven't done anything improper. And frankly, in the meeting when she said this, when we took a collective decision, she agreed to it and expressed a contrarian opinion. She also wanted her right to state this publicly. She wanted this as a right, and she said this in the meeting. And I thought there's nothing wrong in it, because she'd got an unnecessary unfair flag for it. She wanted to clear herself. What's wrong in that?
Can I be completely candid and ask you the next question, Mr. Jaitley? Fact is that the general perception is, I wanted to ask you this for a long time, that see, at one level, all of you have many decades now public life behind you. You're fighting your first Lok Sabha election, but you have at least, I think, about 4 decades now behind you. So you're all contemporaries in a certain way. There is a growing feeling that if Modi were to be Prime Minister, that Mr. Jaitley would be one of the preeminent personalities in that cabinet. But Ms. Sushma Swaraj would find it difficult to come into that arrangement, work under Mr. Modi, or fit into that arrangement.
No question of that.
And therefore there is a bit of professional rivalry.
She is a very, very senior person in the party. She has a great utility, and any system, she is going to be an integral key person part of it.
She'll work under Mr. Modi.
I'm sure she will. She's agreed to support his candidature as Prime Minister once the party has decided this.
Don't you believe the BJP has been far too arrogant with parties who could be potential allies in the future?
You see, we would have loved to have alliances. And alliances with various parties which have been traditionally non-Congress.